Hello and welcome to a new video for Receta. Today we'll be focusing on the customer section and all of the different fields and interactions that you can do within it. So let's get started. We'll go up to the customers, and as you can see there are three areas here. We'll talk about the archive in a minute, but if we wanted to add a new customer to Receta, we would click Customers Add, obviously, and here you can see some form fields that we were required to fill in. On the left hand side you are completing basic contact information that you may or may not know about that customer. Obviously the more information you have the better. Things such as business name, your initial contact, the address of the customer, telephone number, mobile, etc, etc. If they have a different initial shipping address you can set it here. Later on you will be given the opportunity to add more shipping addresses if they so wish, but the initial one can be set at this point. On the right hand side of the page we have a number of fields which can be used for either notification purposes only, or in some cases do have impact on other areas of Receta such as sales orders, invoicing and dispatch. Here we can set some of the information such as the amount of credit days a customer is allowed on their invoices and whether or not they have to prepay for their orders before we can initialize the sales order. If we have set up email marketing accounts with companies such as MailChimp through Receta, you can set here if they are to receive any mailings that you send. Here we can establish whether or not we should offer them free delivery, if they have a shipping service preference based upon the shipping items you have set within the admin area, if they should get set discounts on their orders, if they are VATable, if they have a Sage reference, if let's say for example these are a customer who are already in your Sage accountancy package and you are simply adding them now to Receta, they will already have a reference. You can obtain that from your accountant or your accounts clerks and enter it here. And also if they should appear on one of the customer reports available in the reports section. Once you've completed all the information you have, hit submit and the customer is added. If we wanted to find a customer, we can use customers and find, as you've just seen me doing, and enter the customer name, business name or postcode here, and the results will be displayed in a drop down box, an auto suggest box. Alternatively, if you prefer, wherever you are in Receta, you can use the global search and search in exactly the same way. Any results would appear here. As you can see, there's only one result at the minute, which is the test customer. If we go into that test customer, you will see we have the customer dashboard. If you've already seen one of the videos that we've done, such as the introduction to Receta, this page will already have been covered. However, I'll give you a brief synopsis just so we're clear. Along the top we have navigation points which get us quickly into that particular customer's sales orders. This stops us having to go into sales orders, sales, find, etc. and then do some additional search, and we can click here and it shortcuts all of that for us. The same with quotations, inquiries, etc. Down the left hand side we have some of the basic information we've added, including their Google position in Google Maps if it can be established. We also have some of the notification fields that we covered recently. If we have additional contacts we can set them up here, and if we have additional delivery addresses we can set them up here. I'll quickly go into the add a new contact just because there are some additional fields which may be of interest. Here you can see for an additional contact you can set up all of the additional fields as if you were adding a brand new customer, for example. But you can also add to say if they've got a different business name, it may be a subdivision or a sub-department. On the right hand side are additional fields unique to a subcontact. If you set the shipping address, for example, to yes, then this shipping address contact will appear when adding a new sales order as an area that this sales order could be sent to, other than the main address for the customer. If they say you control finance, then this particular subcontact will receive the invoice or any invoices which are generated through Receta. If you don't set a contact with controls finance, then the main contact for this customer would get the invoices. If they can authorize orders, if they should be carbon copy emailed in on all quotations, sales order and invoice emails, and if they should be carbon copied on any dispatch emails. If we quickly then go to archive, the archive, you can always tell when you're in the archive area because the background goes grey and you obviously have this highlight here. The way you would use the customer archive, if the customer no longer wishes to do business with you, What you can then do is quickly go down the bottom and archive this customer. This stops you having to physically remove all of the information for that customer, but you're moving it into an area where it's not cluttering up your main active customers list. Finally, one of the areas I should have mentioned at the beginning was this right hand side where you have some basic statistical analysis of this customer's business with you. You can also print the CPROD list. At the minute there aren't any, but what that would do is that would show the customer all of the finished products which you have through them that they've agreed with you that you can buy off you. In this case, what the customer could then do is, rather than having to reorder by quoting an ambiguous name or the description of the product in terms of its lid or bottle, etc., they can simply quote the code which has been previously agreed and be sure that they're getting the right product. As you will know, several products are usually very similar to each other, and you want to be sure, and your customer wants to be sure, that they're getting the right product. Below that, we have the current quotations and current sales orders. Any quotations which are either awaiting action by the customer or haven't been converted into a sales order will sit here. And finally, the sales orders. Any sales orders which are outstanding or pending or still being worked on will appear here.